fight the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. It's going to be a little rod of iron, which is spoken of in Psalm the 2nd chapter and Revelation 2nd chapter. Okay? And he treaded the wine press of his fierceness and his wrath of the Almighty. And it speaks about that in Isaiah 63. How he going to come back and trot that wine press along. Okay? Verse 16. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. See, he's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Now, a lot of people be thinking this talking about Haile Selassie. No, it's not talking about Haile Selassie. All right. Let's see. What was I at? Verse 17, and I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power. Man, the fowls, man, the buzzards, the crows, all those type of scavenger animals, man, they gonna eat in that day because the destruction is gonna be great. He gonna destroy captains, man, and horses and whatnot. And it says, verse 18, that ye may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains, there it goes, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit upon them, and the flesh of men, both free and bond, small and great, man. So we about to take the power of this. Esau's power structure is about to be taken, all his substance, man, and he's about to be destroyed, okay? Tell you, I found something out, brothers. You notice how I know it's hot, but I don't sweat like this, but I found out, brothers, when we got these stones on, the heat from out here is heating these stones up, and it makes you get hot quicker. Trust me. I fell asleep with all my stones on one day, and I had the AC on. Man, I almost burned up. You know? Let him have it again. But yeah, these stones, you notice you've been getting a lot sweatier on camp. Bro, these stones, they heat up around our necks, man. They bring heat, they make us sweat. Trust me. So I had never been a sweater, even in the summer, man. Man, I'd be in the car riding around my stones, I have to take them off because they be getting hot. They get heated, like they get heated. Okay. Oh, let's see, where was he at? Revelation 19 and 19. And it says, and I saw the beasts of the kings of the earth and the great armies gathered together to make war against he that sat upon the horse, against his armies. Right? So what they're planning, Esau, he has space stations out there, but he has thermonuclear capability on the space stations. But they really trying to upset the prophecy and gain the blessing. Okay? They gonna try to fight against you. How about Shemel Shah on his way to the earth to set the order up and destroy Esau's power structure? And they know he coming because they got scholars. So what they gonna do? They got thermonuclear missiles on those space stations, man. They gonna try to actually upset prophecy and try to destroy Yahweh Shai and the angels on their way in. That's why they call it Space Force. What did Reagan say in the 80s, man, about the element that's coming from out of this world? He said, when we all join together and basically fight together, and that's what the Lord, he spoke that prophecy, that's what the Lord gonna have them doing. They gonna turn and fight against Yahweh Shai, man. All those different countries, they're gonna be fighting against each other, and then they're gonna turn around and try to fight against the Lord, man, when they see them angels coming. They gonna turn, and the Lord gonna make them fight, man. They say they're gonna be afraid, but he gonna make them fight, just to show his power and destroy them. Okay? It says, and the beast was taken, verse 20, with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, which he deceived them and had received the mark of the beast, that dragon, okay? And to them that worship the image, these both were cast alive into the lake of fire. The false prophet being what? The Roman Empire, okay? And who's the head of the beast right now? It's the Rothschilds, man. He's the head of it. He's the total head of the beast, okay? He got the power. He got the power over NATO. All right, and the UN. Okay, so let me go back to Habakkuk. Man, so man, change, bro. Where did you go back to Habakkuk? Back in the book of Habakkuk, we had just read about Habakkuk 3 and 4, about the brightness was the light, and he had horns coming out of his hand, and there was hiding in his power. So we know that right now. We had the edification on that. We know those are what? The lasers that the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to be shooting out of his chariot, and the other angels are going to be having that same capability in that time when they come back. Okay, they're gonna have the means to shoot lasers from their ships. All right. Verse 5: Before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet. It said burning coals went forth at his feet, and it says burning coals, a burning disease, which is what? Those are the thermonuclear. That's the thermonuclear missiles. All right. One missile gonna hit. When you see that one missile hit, you're gonna see that smoke arise, that mushroom cloud. Okay? You got one missile that can just basically take out all of Texas. But they got thousands upon thousands. It's like 200,000 basically missiles, man. With smart bomb capabilities. Okay? They're basically gonna hit this place. Alright? Verse 6. And it says he stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations, right? With what? Thermonuclear destruction, right? The nations, the troops, they're going to be the ones that are going to be fighting against Yahweh Shai. It says he stood and measured the earth. Yahweh Shai, man. Because he's going to be in the firmament, okay? And it says he beheld and drove asunder the nations. And the everlasting mountains were scattered, right? The everlasting governments are going to be scattered, all right? And it says, the perpetual hills did bow, his ways are everlasting. The perpetual hills bow and his ways are everlasting, okay? To bow meaning you are what? In servitude. You're in, to bow to someone meaning what? They are overrule over you and you are in subjection under them. So the Lord is coming back to put you nations in subjection. Just like we read in chapter 19, it says he's going to wear their crowns, okay? He's about to take their rulership. It says, I saw the tents of Cushan, which is Ethiopia, right, in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. So, that's where the Arabs are living now. So the Lord about to destroy all you nations, man. He's gonna put all you in subjection. But guess what? All y'all had a part. Those two countries right there, you had a part in our slavery as well. Okay, you Cushites, you Ethiopians, you Cushites, you had us in the Babylonian Empire, right? And you Arabs, you helped Esau put us in slavery. Okay, so you gonna pay too, as well. Verse 8, and it says, was the Lord Yahweh displeased again the rivers, right? It's going to be so much destruction. It's going to be like Habakkuk was asking, was the Lord mad at the water? Was he mad at the river? That's how much destruction is going to be going on, man. When the thermonuclear missiles hit, it's going to be so much destruction going on Habakkuk like, man, the Lord mad at the river. Is he mad at the water? That's cold. And it says, was the wrath against the sea, and that didst ride upon thine horses and thine chariots of salvation? Verse 9, and it says, thy bow was quite naked according to the oaths of the tribes, even thy word, Salah. Thou didst cleave the earth with the rivers. So it represents the Lord readiness, basically, to smite his enemy. When you go into that word naked, it means, in that particular scripture, without no delay, okay? And it says, I'll read that again. And the bow was made quite naked, according to the oaths of the tribes, meaning it was going to be used, right? That bow, it was used. It wasn't going to delay. So these thermonuclear missiles, you see them making, they not finna sit in no Smithsonian and just sit there and for people to admire. They're going to be used, okay? And it says, even thy word, okay, of the promises that was made to our forefather, man. Because after the destruction, we're going to get the kingdom. We're going to get the land. We're going to get heathen. We're going to have all the resources. We're going to have our women back right, okay? We're gonna have all that, man. We're gonna have the whole universe, man. Because the world was made for our sakes, man. Verse 10, the mountains saw thee and they trembled. Okay, the kings and governments of the states, when they see it, they're gonna tremble. Because like I said, the heads of the beast is who the Rothschild, and they know when this happens, what? Their society is over, man. All right? The overflowing of the water passed by, okay? And it says, the depth uttered his voice and lifted up his hands on high. So it's going to be, he lifted up his hands on high. It's going to be visible to everybody when that day comes, that destruction. It's going to be seen all over the world. And even after the destruction of America, it speaks of in Revelation, the 18th chapter, that they're going to see it from afar. They're going to see the smoke burning from afar, okay? They gonna tremble because, hey man, it's gonna shake. That quake gonna shake. It's gonna shake them up. Let me get one. Oh man, it's gonna shake them up. Let me get this another scripture that edifies that. That's gonna be shaking them up. I think in Ezekiel. Might be Ezekiel 38. Hold on. Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38:18, and it shall come to pass at the same time when God shall come against the land of Israel, said the Lord Yahweh, that my fury shall come up in my face, for in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath I have spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. So it's going to be a great shaking in the land of Israel. In that particular land, but that land going to be destroyed because the people who are there are not the people of that land. And when the Lord destroys the shaking in that place, Israel, He's going to bring us back and set us in that place. And it's going to be a shaking here in America of our people, Israel, 2/3 of our own people. Okay? Now this is back at Habakkuk 2, and 11. The sun and the moon stood still in their habitations. At the light of thine arrows they went, and at the shining of thy glittering spears. Okay? Now it says that basically the sun and the earth stood still. It did that in Joshua, in the time of Joshua. The Lord had the sun stand still in that time too. Okay? So it says the sun and the moon stood still in their habitations. So it's saying the Lord is basically going to freeze time. Okay? So the destruction can totally be completed. And it says, at the light of thine arrows, okay, at the light of thine arrows, they went, and at the shining of thy glittering spear, which that glittering spear is the missile, okay? So the Lord gonna freeze time, like he did in Joshua, 10th chapter, the 11th verse, if I can remember. Let me read that to edify that. I think it was Joshua, the 10th chapter, 11th verse. Joshua 10, it was 10 and 11. Joshua 10 and 11. And the Lord Yahweh started 10, discomforted them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way that goeth up to Bethron, and smote them at Ezekah and Makeda. Verse 11, and it came to pass as they fled from before Israel and were in the going down to Bethron, that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yahweh, cast down great stones from heaven upon them, and Ezekah, they died, and they were more which died with hailstones, and they whom in the children of Israel slew with the sword. Then spake Joshua to the Lord Yahweh in that day that the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gideon, and thy moon in the valley of Eglon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. It is not that it is written in the book of Jasher, so the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and hastened not to go down about a whole day. So, hey, the Lord held still the sun so we could destroy our enemies, okay? Right? You talk about Habakkuk said the same thing. And it's going to seem like it in this destruction that's coming. It's going to be so much stuff happening, it's going to seem like time is standing still on a lot of you people, man. Okay? It's going to seem like time is standing still on a lot of you people. It's just like it ain't moving fast enough. A lot of you people going to be longing for death, man. You're going to be longing for death, and it ain't going to, hey, the Lord going to keep some of you in agony, man, misery. He's going to prolong it. He's going to let one dilemma happen to you after another before he decides to go ahead and take you out, okay?